I'm really excited. We're going to be doing a bait comparison today, a 4-way bait comparison. So we're going to see which catches the most crab out of our 4 baits. Let's go get our traps ready to go and in the water and see how this goes. Let's catch some crab. So I did some trap maintenance and put new bait bags in 3 out of our 4 traps and repaired all of the tears in the netting. The bait bags are totally bigger than necessary, but I like the material, and most importantly, they were cheap. We're just gonna do our usual chicken legs in our first trap. So I got so much room in that bait bag. These chicken legs are cheap. I'm gonna toss 2 in there. Just give this a good tie off. It looks like it's stretchy, but it's just the way it's woven. Nice thick nylon mesh. Gonna see how it holds up. There's a lot of seals in the harbor here in Westport, and they can do a lot of damage to your bait bags if you're not careful. So you gotta have durable bait bags here. They will get torn up. I have learned that a lot lately. This year, they have really been tearing lighter duty bait bags up on me. Perfect. All right, next trap. Some panfish carcasses from the leftovers from my last video, actually, where I did a panfish catch and cook. Saved all the leftovers, threw it in the freezer, just so that I could do this. So they're mostly bluegill, but there's a couple of perch in there too. And there's a couple of pumpkin seed sunfish. They won't take long to thaw out in the water. Take these guys, toss them in the bait bag. I will definitely be catching more in the future, so I am not going to be shy about using them as bait right now. Plus, the more is in there, more their scent will spread. All right, we'll toss this one off the other direction here. All right, this is going to be my razor clam trap. I figure it'll be a little better than using the new mesh bags because the mesh on this little bait bag is a little finer, so less likely to get those razor clams picked out of there rapidly. So those are hungry little crabs down there. It's the one inconvenient thing, especially if you have a bigger mesh on your bait bags, if you're using razor clams or any kind of finer bait. Those crabs will pull them out of there so fast, you'll have to rebait your bait bags every other cast. So these razor clams are a couple of years old. They're all freezer burnt, not good for eating anymore. We caught them on Mother's Day 2 years ago, and they are not good for human consumption, but plenty fine for crab consumption at this point. Little disappointed they got forgotten in our freezer, but they are not going to waste. Fold that over nice and tight. You want to leave no openings, or as few openings as possible for those crabs to be pulling your clams out. So we're using 4 traps. That's the most traps you can use with 2 fishing licenses. You only get 2 traps per fishing license, but I am here with my lovely wife who is filming me, and she is also licensed, so we get to use 4 traps. I'm gonna put all of our bait in there. A chicken, panfish, and razor clam cocktail. If you're using fish carcasses, definitely don't be afraid to throw the skin in there. It's the oils, the fat in the meat that is going to carry that scent trail to the crabs. So the fattiest parts of the meat are what you want to make sure you're including in your bait. Just put 1 solid chunk in there. Last trap going in. The harbor here is populated with a lot of crabs. It does not take them long to crawl up into your traps. You'll often be pulling up full traps in just 10 minutes. So don't be afraid to check them often. Thankfully, my wife makes all natural soap, and we bring that with us. And we actually use special scents that mask our human scent just for fishing, because, well, depending on what you're fishing for, scent can really matter a lot. If you can mask your human scent, just like in hunting, you're gonna have better luck. Plus, I love my wife's dirt-scented soap. It smells like the cleanest dirt you've ever smelled. All right, here we go. It's time for our first pull. Always the most exciting pull of the day. That does not feel light. Woo! That's a good amount of crabs right there. All little guys. This rock crab's almost big enough right here. He's only about a ½ inch small from keeper size for a rock crab. That was about 8 or 9 undersized crabs there, I think, for chicken. Come on, buddy. Quit stressing out. Yeah, always be respectful to your crab. Be careful with them when you're trying to get them out of the net. They can be very unruly, and this guy in particular is a soft shell. He'd be easy to break the limbs off of if you're not careful. His best chance is gonna be just going back in and untangling himself in the water. So that's what I'm gonna do. So he's pretty tangled up. All right, this one doesn't feel empty. Doesn't feel quite as heavy as the other one. Pretty sure this is the razor clams. Yep, got 4 in this guy, including the biggest crab yet. Still far from keeper size, not too far. Probably about a 5-incher there, about 1 inch undersize. So razor clams got 4. Just like Ghostbusters, try not to cross your streams or your lines. This was the panfish. I'm very curious to see how the panfish did. Ooh, that feels heavy. Oh, panfish is winning. Look at that. All right, so panfish carcasses. Definitely doing well. I don't know if we got a keeper in there, but there's one that looks like it might be. I need my caliber here. All right, that guy's good size, but too small. I think that's like at least 12 crabs in that one. Probably 13 or 14. This guy right here, I'm pretty sure is a keeper size red rock. Rock crabs only have to be 5 inches across the carapace. And he is right on it, just over 5 inches. So we got our first keeper crab, and it's a male. You can tell with the skinny part there. In comparison, this is what a female looks like. At least I believe this one's a female. It's our biggest Dungeness. That's what the bottom of a female looks like there. Much fatter egg flap is what that's called. So obviously males don't need an egg flap, so it's much smaller there, narrow strip. That's a good sized female, but you cannot keep female Dungeness. It actually doesn't matter for rock crabs. You can keep female rock crabs, but the males are more ideal because most of their meat is in their claws, and males have bigger claws. And he's a good hard shell. Especially in the summer when you're crabbing, you want to watch the shell hardness on your crabs because most crabs molt in the summer. Just in general, you don't want to keep soft shell crabs. They have far less meat in them. And it only takes them about 2 months to get their shell hardened all the way back up after molting, and then they're full of meat again. So it's just worthwhile to toss them back and come back for them later. All right, first keeper in the bag. So this is a good example right here of a soft shell. They're usually much whiter in color. He's not super soft, but he's definitely soft enough that you can pinch that shell. If you can easily pinch that shell or push on this part and it squishes, they are soft shelled. But you can also tell pretty dead giveaway if they're that light colored. So that was crazy. All right, let's try to get that close to the same spot. Combo trap. Let's see how the combo trap did. Oh, combo trap feels light. All right, that's interesting. Empty on the combo trap. That's still got, looks like most of the razor clam already got picked out of it, but it's definitely still got its chicken leg and plenty of the panfish. So maybe too many things in there can cause a little confusion, or that spot just happened to be unproductive. All right, we're back in the water. Now we just gotta wait a few more minutes to check that first trap again. Oh, wow. That's cool. That's the biggest boat I've ever seen come into the harbor. Arctic Fury. That is a huge fishing boat. Surprisingly, the moorage in Westport is really quite cheap. Far cheaper than I would have expected looking into it. I'm not sure, they probably charge a little more for big spots for a boat that size, but it was just in like the several $100s a month. So while we're waiting on our crab traps, I'm gonna try a little bit of fishing. I got a high-low rig here. We're using bits of razor clam for bait, which is actually excellent bait for surf perch, rockfish, pretty much anything you're gonna find in the harbor. Razor clam's a great bait for it. Not a lot of fish in the harbor, but there are shiner perch and some various rockfish. So we'll see how this goes. It'd be pretty awesome to catch a little fish on the side. As far as my gear goes, I'm just using a Penn Battle 2 that my wife got me for my birthday a few years ago. Ooh, that was a good pull. Oh my goodness. Just a little guy, very little guy. I feel bad to hook such a little guy, my goodness. Live on, little guy. Oh my God, you're so small. First trap, good old-fashioned chicken. All right, so I had 3 before one fell out at the end there. And that's a decent size. Probably just over 5 inches, not worth trying to measure. He's got an interesting feature I want to show you guys though. He is really feisty. He's gonna try to get me bad. All right, maybe we can do it more safely with him on his back. So he lost legs. Oh, he's trying to get all tangled in the line too. Give you less to work with. There you go, calm down. Look at this little leg growing back here. It's all soft and gooey. So these guys always grow their arms or their legs and their claws back when they lose them. And they lose them, but it's cool to see a leg growing back in that stage. It's still completely soft, no shell to it. Female red rock, tangled up. Come on out, girl. Come on, you're almost there. Woo! Almost got me. Cute little crabby. Try a slightly different spot on that one. It's the nice thing about using the casting folding traps. You can try different spots on every throw and check them frequently. All right, next up, I believe this is the razor clams. There we go, we got 6. 6 for razor clams. And it looks like we got another keeper red rock crab. A lot of people don't like the rock crabs here. They're just going for the Dungeness and they'll throw every rock crab they get back. They don't have as much meat as the Dungeness crabs on a whole, but they're still plenty worthwhile, especially if you like claw meat. They have very good claw meat. We got our red rock untangled. He's also a male. He's got nice hard shell. Big claws. Let's see if he's big enough. Yep. So this little line right there is where the 5-inch line is. So he's a good 1/4 inch over that. All right, there we go. Got 2 keepers already. 1 keeper for razor clams and 1 keeper for panfish so far. But so far, so good. This is the combo trap and it's feeling light again. Wow. It is very far behind the other traps. All right, let's try to shift the spot a little, give it a chance. I don't think there's anything wrong with that spot. All right, now panfish. Oh, that's feeling heavy again. All right. All right, how many we got? I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We got 8 crabs on that one. Possibly 9, but at least 8. No keepers, but good size. Biggest one is, again, a female. But these crabs are really liking the fish carcass. Oh, she's holding on.
She's taking her trap.
Yep. Ah, she's gonna run away with the trap. I got her untangled. Funny enough, I had no intention of coming to Westport today. We were planning on crabbing in Tokeland for a change of scenery, but as soon as we got there, we noticed something odd. There was a loud noise, and we looked around, we noticed there was a big old dredger over there, dredging the bottom of the bay, very close to the fishing dock. It would have made for really just annoying sounds. And then we talked to the ranger, and the ranger told us that there's been very little luck crabbing in general in Tokeland this year, and that people are only that he's only been seeing like 1 to 5 keepers per day coming out of Tokeland. And that's just not very good prospects. So between the dredger, the annoying noise, and the ranger telling us that Tokeland's just not good for crabbing right now, we decided to just head up to Westport. It's only a half-hour drive. We know there are crabs here, and I don't mind. I love Westport. It's just too bad because Tokeland is a nice change of scenery. It's beautiful there. It feels much more peaceful. The ranger also told us another thing that was interesting was that the crabbing has been particularly bad in Tokeland ever since the December rains. So in December 2025, this last December, the whole of Western Washington got a lot of rain, depending on where you were, anywhere from 1 foot to 2 feet of rain for the month. That led to a lot of flooding, and Tokeland is in Willapa Bay, which is fed by the Willapa River. So when you get that much rain in a bay, it can decrease the salinity for the bay. And for any fish that particularly care about salinity, or crab for that matter, that can really chase them out. The other thing that I really wanted to assess in Tokeland was to see if there are any invasive green crabs there. There's been lots of reports of green crabs in Willapa Bay, and I've actually caught a couple in Bay Center, but I was excited to catch some and show you guys what the invasive green crabs look like. What is that? I don't think that's a fish. If it is, it's a big fish. No way.
Hey.
Are you kidding?
No.
Holy crap. Whoa, look what I just caught. Oh my goodness. That is crazy. That is a keeper size but soft shell male Dungeness crab. I hooked him right in the butt. There we go. That is wild. Look at that. I just caught him on a fishing line. So crabs definitely like razor clams. He's a soft shell. See, he's very white. And you can see this carapace part here is squishing down when I press on it. So very soft, freshly molted. But in just a couple of months, this crab will be full of meat again, and hopefully I'll be able to come back and catch him. All right, it's time for our third pull. Let's see how we're doing. This should be my chicken trap. What do we got? We got 2. And they're both rather small. Scuttle off. There we go. So let's shift this a little more over to where we caught that crab. See if we can't catch his hard-shelled brother. This is the razor clam. Oop, that feels light. 1. 1 more for razor clams. All right, at least it wasn't empty. All right, I'm gonna replenish the razor clams. They're mostly gone in there. That should last a while at least, while still giving us enough to use as bait for our poles. And that spot didn't seem very good, so I'm gonna shift our spot over a little bit. There we go. I sure love this bucket backpack. I like keeping my bait in there so I can keep my bait and my cooler for my catch separate. Plus, this bag comes with a nifty seat that rotates. Great. So you don't even need a chair. You're just good to go. Plus, it's actually a pretty comfy backpack, has lots of really nice pockets. I love this bag. I wasn't so sure about it when my wife first got it for me, but I have fallen in love with it and it is my go-to backpack now. Not sure if this is Panfish or the combo. I think it might be Panfish. And it's feeling pretty heavy. 5 more for Panfish. Biggest one looks like a female. Yep. Shift our spot a little bit, because we're catching a lot of females in that spot. All right, let's try our combo trap. This trap is cursed. Nobody likes the combo. That is so funny. There's no razor clams left in here, as far as I can tell anyway. So they've picked the razor clams out. Okay, so at this point, I like catching crab, and I think I'm going to declare that the combo has lost. Last place, 3 pulls, not a single crab. So I'm gonna take the 1 piece of chicken that's in there out. I can just go back in with the chicken in here, and I'm going to add more panfish to it since the panfish is doing the best. And it's not even that close so far. Panfish has been crushing it. Be rocking 2 panfish traps now. So this really goes to show that when you're fishing for panfish and you think they're not worth eating, they're not worth keeping, they have a lot more worth than you're giving them credit for. These panfish gave us a good meal that actually fed basically the whole family. And now they're catching us crabs that are feeding us even more. Definitely save your fish carcass. Whether it's panfish or any fish, you can always use it for bait. All right, there we go. Got a good spread. Let's see if we can't get another little fish. So I just hooked another crab. I didn't set the hook in him though, so just before I got him to the dock, he came off. I think it was like a keeper-sized red rock crab though. And send her back. First trap, chicken. Oh, do I have you?
Oh, caught yourself a man, Dave.
I'm tight here. Can I free you up?
Westport's definitely a good place to catch yourself a man if you're fishing for one. So chicken didn't get a fair shake on that one. I got crossed up with someone else. I believe this one's razor clams. And it feels pretty good. All right, what do we got? We got six total crabs. And at least one guy worth measuring here. Yep, just a little small probably. Yep, just about a little over a 1/4 inch small there, but encouraging. Now, our panfish traps. It looks soft, but I mean, it looks light, but it's actually hard. He's just in keeper size. Well, since we already have a red rock feast going, we may as well keep this guy too. All right, one more red rock crab for the crab party. Measure just for fun. Yep, yeah, he's under. Under and soft. Back you go. Ooh, I don't want to step on you, little guy. Get back in the water. Whoa, you trying to get me? Crazy little crabs. I don't know how to pick a fight. This panfish trap. That's a big crab, but it's almost definitely a soft shell. That is a big crab. That's kind of how it goes crabbing in the summer here. Male Dungeness crabs molt in the summer. It only takes them a couple of months to get that hard shell back, but you're gonna find yourself catching a lot of soft shells. Send them back. All right, where am I even gonna go? It's not feeling good over there. That's a good amount. We got 6, 7 in there. All right, here goes the camera trap again. That was a pretty good amount of crabs in the camera trap. Hopefully we got some good footage of them. All this crabbing has definitely worked up an appetite. So let's have ourselves a snack. Today we are going to be having a menu 7, beef strips and a savory tomato-based sauce. There we go. Sack within a sack. Everything else is inside another bag. And this is our entree. Yep, beef strips and savory tomato sauce. White wheat snack bread. Blackberry jam. That should go nicely with the bread. That's absurd. Peppermints. Ooh, peanut butter. Peanut butter jelly time. Tropical blend smoothie. No, thank you. Chocolate pudding with protein. That's interesting. All right, that's it for the food. All that's left is accessories and the flameless heater. Let's give this stuff a try. I'm hungry. White wheat bread loaded up with the peanut butter and blackberry jam. Good old military PB&J. Not bad. So that peanut butter and jelly wasn't too bad. Next, I am going to try the chocolate pudding with protein. Interesting. That's not too bad. The consistency is at least like a decent chocolate pudding. Got the entree heating up in the flameless heater right now. But before we get to that, we gotta check our traps. 4 crabs total there. 1 decent sized dungy, but he's a little soft and definitely not keeper size. Go on, get out of here, you're crazy. Or you get all tied up in the line. Go, 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 go. Oh, you're already all tied up in the line. There we go, he gone. All right, let's try our panfish traps. That one feels pretty good. Ooh, that's looking pretty good too. Ooh, that's a big crabby. Ah, the summer's doing us dirty. That is a big keeper-sized crab. But we're not gonna keep them.
Throw them off that side.
That's all right. Even if we don't catch any keeper dungies, I know we're gonna be having some good old red rock ramen over by the beach. Just 3 little guys in this one. That's the camera trap. Yep, these are our little stars here. Hopefully the camera caught some action from them. Oh, back in the water. Little gunnel eel there. Yep, that feels pretty hot. As always, I cannot say enough how much I believe MREs are an excellent on-the-go meal for hiking, fishing, any on-the-go time. Each one is over, or an average of 1,200 calories. That's a lot of bang for your buck, and they're good. Definitely beats spending a ton of money eating out. Well, the chunks of beef in there actually look like real beef. They don't look processed. You can see the texture of the meat there. Not bad. Smells pretty good. That's really good. Wow. Time to check our traps again. Ooh. Yeah, there is a little eel in there. Oh, there you go. We slid it out.
Yeah.
Back you go. This one's feeling pretty light. If we don't catch anything soon, we might just take our 3 crabs and run. What do we got? Just 3 little guys. There's a dirty looking red rock crab. Got some kind of shell disease going on there. That's a dirty girl. Hopefully she can molt that away soon. That's nasty. I think this might be our last toss. We'll see how it goes. Pretty all right with our 3 red rock crabs. Make for some good ramen. See what we get. Whether we catch any or we don't. We're gonna pick up, go cook up our crabbies we got. All right, here we go. It's the final pull. Let's see what we got. Not bad. 7 for chicken. These guys are gonna be problems. You get on out. You too. You guys are ridiculous. All right, guys, come on. We got places to go. Back you go. Meh. Meh. Go. Ooh, that's pretty crabby. Fish carcass continues to do well. Don't crush your friend. There we got 2, 4, 6, 8 in there. Lots of red rocks. A couple of the red rocks were probably worth measuring, but I don't think they're quite there. Last pot. 3, 4 more. 4 more for fish carcasses, including 1 decent sized dungy there, but soft shell. Back you go. All right, that's all she wrote. We're just gonna empty our bait bags out. The seagulls will be very excited about that. And we're gonna go find ourselves a nice spot to cook up our crabs we caught. So we'll see you there. We are at my favorite little catch and cook spot in the Twin Harbors area. It's a little day use area next to Twin Harbors State Park. It's gonna make a little bit of crab ramen. It'll be awesome. Those red rock crabs are perfect for it. There are our crabbies. So we gotta get our water boiling first. For our crabs, that's gonna take the longest. Just gotta get our stove set up. There we go. Forgive my dirty stove. It gets a lot of use. All right. Gotta love these little camp stoves. Let's see how we're, ooh, there we go. Well, that's a good rolling boil. All right, we're ready to add our crab. Should be good and stunned by the ice. This guy goes in first. Crabby number 3. There we go. Steam boil those guys for about 15 to 17 minutes. Turn the heat up on our water for our ramen so that can start boiling. We're just gonna use some plain old ramen. So this is the original brand of ramen, which was actually created shortly after World War II to feed Japanese people in recovery after the war. Nissan Top Ramen. This is a really appropriate meal for my shirt, I just realized. Too bad I didn't bring one of my cats to share this feast with me. There we go. Now this is extreme fancy. In case you guys couldn't tell. Add crab to anything, it's fancy. Probably another 5 minutes on the crab. Nice thing about this is it's a really approachable meal that anyone can make on the go. Just need some ramen and some crab, and you're good to go. Oh yeah. Now my wife definitely can't say I don't take her anyplace fancy. She is getting the hookup today. Today we will dine like royalty. Crab should be just about done. Washington's a 50-50 state, so you gotta make sure you do your diligence here. Divvy that husband-wife food up evenly. Perfect. Oh yeah. Looking good. Happy looking little crabs. Those clams pulled off. Beautiful big chunk of meat there. There we go. Beautiful piece of crab meat. All right, let's give this one a try.
Sorry.
You're good.
Ooh, you guys are having a fancy meal.
Yeah, ramen with crabs.
Looks good. Can I look at that?
Yeah.
Really? You caught these today?
Yep,
Yep.
we caught these today.
Got a $50 dinner right there, easy. Right?
Yep. Oh
Yep.
yeah.
Yep, they're red rock crabs.
Well, enjoy, guys.
Have a
Thank
nice
you.
walk.
All right, here we go. We've got our crab ramen ready to go. This is my bowl. I have an equally portioned bowl for my wife. Look at those big chunks of claw meat. The claws of red rock crabs are, in my opinion, even tastier than any part of a Dungeness crab. By just a hair. They are so sweet and the meat is so tender, but not in a like an overly soft way. The texture is actually very satisfying. So let's give this a try with some ramen and some crab. Good big chunk of claw meat on there. That is just absolutely decadent. Actually, really truly makes the ramen taste fancy. That is so good. Oh my goodness. As always, it is just so satisfying to be eating food that you caught yourself by hand. This is so fancy and so fabulous. Thank you for joining me for this meal. I'm going to enjoy the rest of this fancy feast with my wife. Thank you so much for joining me today. I had a great time. We had to pivot from our original plans of going to Tokeland, but we had an awesome time at Westport today. We didn't catch any Dungeness crabs that were keepers, but we still caught a ton of crab, and we got 3 really good, really tasty red rock crabs instead to enjoy with this meal. It was just perfect. It was an awesome day. Thank you for joining me. I can't wait to do this again. If you want to do it again, don't forget to click that subscribe button because we're gonna definitely keep going out, catching some food, cooking it up, and eating it together. Hope to see you next time. Have a great day.